Hey, good Tuesday evening, everyone. State Representative Brad Halbrook here, along with my friends and colleagues, Chairman of the Illinois Freedom Caucus, Leader Chris Miller. We have Counselor Representative Leader David Freeze, and we have the Director of the Illinois Freedom Caucus, Colin Mosley, to another lively discussion on topics that are facing all of us here in the state of Illinois. And just going to kind of make sure that everybody understands that this is the home for truth, logic, and common sense. And so with that, we thank you guys for joining us this evening. Let's just get kind of right into the discussion as the slides have come up. We're going to talk about Speaker Welch and his Democrat House of Reps, and maybe others would have other names for that, the indictments, the harassments, the corruption. And with that, let's go to the next slide. And so big news, State Rep Harry Benton has had some kind of wild charges levied against him. He resigned from the House here just a week or so ago and has since withdrew his name from the ballot. Leader Freeze, your thoughts on this Harry Benton situation?
Well, I don't feel sorry for this guy at all. I mean, if what is true, I mean, he, acted like less than a gentleman, shall we say. And apparently he has a long history of this. Now, we don't know the specific allegations of what, caused the investigation and his resignation, but some prior staffers came out recently and talked about things that were going on in his office. And it just, I mean, I don't know the way to put it. You don't treat women like this. And a troubling thing about these additional allegations, it sounds like Speaker Welch may have been privy to some of this and may not have acted on it.
Yeah. Right. So this started in 2023. So 3+ years. That would have been his first year in office, right?
Yeah. Right thereabouts. I mean, shortly after he was a freshman when this all was happening. Beat a Republican, I think, to come into the House. Mm-hmm. If I remember that right, Brad.
Yeah, I think it was an open seat, and yeah.
Well, now you talking about this isn't. I mean, so he's going to be off the ballot, and they've got somebody that's going to run in his place, a woman, and I think if I read this correctly, did she not work for him somewhere along the line? Yeah, so. I think she would probably be a good source of information on how he acts around women. So I'd be curious to see what she knows and if she's going to defend this guy.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I think the replacement was just announced this morning. I don't know when the decision was made, whether it was last night or this morning, but the announcement that I got was just this morning, and she was there during this and knew that it was happening.
Oh, yeah. So she knew about it, and now she's going to run to take his place. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, again, there's two big issues that have come up with this now, and both involving Speaker Welch. The Democrat Speaker of the House, it sounds like he knew about Benton's behavior years ago and then continued to go ahead and fund his reelection campaign and did nothing about it. But B, now it sounds like there's documented issues while this guy was Speaker of the House, doing some maybe similar conduct. So it's all kind of a mess. And our argument is, hey, look, you're innocent until proven guilty, but the people deserve to know how their public officials are behaving.
Right. So this issue's just been handled by the Legislative Inspector General, right? And they have a panel of House members to review some information, right? But we've not seen what that report is or what the investigation is. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah. And I think if I understood the rules correctly, had he not resigned, then it may have been made public. But since he resigned, they won't release a report, or generally they won't release a report on somebody who's no longer an elected representative.
My conspiracy theory on this, or my prediction on this is, as of now, I don't believe Mr. Benton has resigned from his township road commissioner's job, which is about a $75,000 a year job. I would not be surprised if this is being hung over his head, that if you don't quit this job, we're going to keep pushing to release this report and ruin your life even worse. But we'll see.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, just a kind of a thought here. I mean, so we saw this, wasn't it Matt Gaetz in Congress, right? He had some allegations, but yet then he ended up resigning so that stuff wouldn't come out. And there's probably been countless others. I know Congress is a pretty clean and green machine out there. But, it's just very rare to have any infractions or whatever. But I don't know. I think if these things are this serious, I think these reports probably should be surfaced whether you resign or not.
Mm-hmm.
Just a thought.
Yeah, probably so. Especially if you're still a public official, which he is.
Right, exactly. Chairman Miller, any thoughts on your end before we move to the next slide, unless there's anything else we need to touch base here?
Well, it's just stunning that the Democrats would sweep something under the rug like this for years, and then all of a sudden, sanctimoniously, when convenient, it all comes up again. And they, and the funny part about it is the replacement, in my mind, because she knows Harry, and oh mercy,
Yeah, she knows his character.
yeah. Well, that old song, and Harry doesn't mind, so we'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's move to the next slide. Big news out of Champaign-Urbana, Champaign County. The representative there for the last dozen or so years indicted on federal charges. I think there's 10 counts: wire fraud, obstruction of justice, easy for me to say, multiple things there. According to the rules of the House, there can be brought forth a special investigating committee, which is surfaced. And so things are starting to move there. Again, these are federal charges. With that, let's go to Representative Miller and kind of open it up for discussion about your thoughts about this. I know, Representative Miller, you represent part of Champaign County. I have in the past. And her husband, kind of uniquely, is the county clerk. And he is probably running the best elections in the state of Illinois.
He's definitely running the best elections for any of the radical left that is looking to be reelected. They magically find ways to make things happen up there. So, we've all known for a long time that this is that the Ammons crime family is alive and well, and now we've even got the mom, the dad, and even the doctor under federal investigation, federal indictments. Another little sidebar that I think that needs to be mentioned is that the previous inspector general had resigned because of the lack of any ethics with any teeth in it. So it'll be interesting to see how the new one handles all this extra curricular activities that are being brought forth by the feds and their indictments.
Right. So, Counselor, these people are innocent until proven guilty, correct?
That absolutely. That's obviously part of our, criminal justice system.
Right.
And the feds typically don't mess around. They don't bring indictments just to harass people. If our viewers haven't done it, they should seek out the indictment and read it. If the allegations are true, they're very serious.
Mm-hmm.
She was funneling money to NGOs and then taking, quote, gifts from them. And I think one of the allegations, if I remember correctly, is she demanded that her daughter get hired on as a consultant or something. So, and I'm sure that was a no-show job. If all this is true,
right.
But no, it's very serious. And the fact that her husband was involved in this as well. Yeah, we got 2 elected officials that probably should not be serving in office here in the state of Illinois. 2 more. So right. Out of all the others that have already been booted out or gone to prison.
Yeah, well, it's been a busy month for the speaker with these 2 situations with Benton and now Ammons. And of course, her daughter was indicted just a couple of weeks ago. This indictment came down on July the 7th.
Yeah.
Again, 10 counts. You've got potentially steering state grants to an organization that employed the family member.
Indictment.
What's that?
It's 11 indictments, 11 count. Yeah, because Carolyn, her husband Aaron, were both named in that indictment.
Right. Yeah. So it is quite the family affair.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've got the political Mike Madigan, J.B. Pritzker washing machine going, washing the cash as it comes through and gets funneled into different directions. And I mean, these people learned from the very best. I'm guessing that this is learned behavior, that they've seen this movie before and they thought that they wanted to be participants and beneficiaries of the tax dollars that are flowing through the system.
Yeah, it's really the puzzling. And again, if all the allegations are true, it's the amount of arrogance that took to do this. Is one is she's accused from taking money from her campaign funds, and taking, in essence, taxpayer dollars from grants that she helped secure to go to these NGOs.
I'm guessing that there were other Democrats that laid out the original template, and because I doubt that Carol thought this up on her own, she probably saw other of her colleagues participating in this kind of nefarious behavior and thought that looked like a good idea to increase their income.
Yeah, and this is what I mean, and we have talked about this before. This is why we filed legislation to, for FOIA requests for these NGOs. I mean, if say a $500,000 grant goes to someplace, how much of that $500,000 goes to actually help the constituents in that area? And the only way to get to the bottom of that answer is a FOIA request. Because the NGOs are going to pay people, they're going to pay building. Think about this: you get a $500,000 grant, goes to somebody who's possibly a friend of somebody who's elected, to make in essence, a building payment, or who knows what, or maybe buy a car.
Well, I had an NGO stop by my office earlier in the spring, and I think they have been the recipients of, it was either $2 million or $4 million, and the person that came to my office was the head of this NGO, and her assistant was with them, and I started quizzing them a little bit, and they got real uncomfortable and real and they didn't know how much money they made. They didn't know how much money her assistant made, but they did know that they had 35 people employed in this after school program. So, I mean, connect the dots, and it looked like Minnesota all over again.
Yeah. Another Leering Center.
Yeah.
Well, there's just no accountability. And I mean, in Springfield, when you ask to see the receipts, then suddenly you're racist, fascist, misogynist, fill in the adjective, or noun rather. And it's just, that's why we have to keep pushing for transparency and accountability in government, because when things like this come out and it's like, well, the thing that you're saying is not happening is happening. So you don't tell me that I'm the one crying wolf, because it's here in black and white. So, I think as a Freedom Caucus, that is our goal, is to use this stuff to continue to push that. There's no reason. This shouldn't even be partisan. The people should get to know where their tax dollars are going. I don't know why that's political. I have no idea.
Yeah, no. And I think I saw a quote from Rep. Amons that she was, claiming that the allegations are racist in nature. And again, if you're taking, what do they refer to it as gifts in the indictment. If you're taking gifts because, from an NGO because you help secure a grant, I don't see the racist component of that. Sounds sort of kind of like a bribe to me.
Yeah, or a kickback.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. But
they weren't even they're not even campaign contributions. It's just like they're handing Carol Ammons a 20 and saying, "See you later."
Yeah. No, and that's really aggravating, because again, if true, she received taxpayer money for securing a grant. That's your money. That's my money. And everybody else, and that money didn't go to help her constituents that she claims that she cares so much about.
That's right. That's right.
Just trust me, I care.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see where this goes, Brad. This is kind of this has happened a few times. These special investigating committees in the House, but they are still sort of rare, unique occurrences. So
right, yeah. It's been interesting over the years since I've served. The number of members that have come under some federal indictment. I remember Representative Smith way back. I believe they ended up, this might have been my first year or the second year. They booted him out. He was on the ballot and he won election and he came back.
Mhm.
Really?
So, yeah. And Representative Ammons is on the ballot. So, I mean, she could get removed because of this investigation committee, but could still win re-election. Well, she will win re-election because I don't think she has a Republican opponent. So she's coming back. So,
well, and that's another. There's one more new. I know we're winding down with time, but one more nuanced thing about this is it's kind of like the Fifth Amendment. You can only be tried in the House one time for a certain charge. So she could be kicked out by this committee, win in November, and come back in January. Again, barring her being in prison, I suppose,
right.
or for the indictment. So
yeah. So you if that happened, you think Welch would let her caucus? With
I would sure hope not, but they are Democrats.
Yeah.
Well, I know one thing, that when I'm in like her, she chairs the Energy and Environment Committee. Chris, you're in that committee too. I know that when we get to asking questions of the sponsor and we try to get kind of close to the understanding what the bill's about. Well, hey, you're being repetitive in your questions, or that's not what this bill's about, or your questions aren't relevant to this bill, and the debate gets shut down. So she's really good about trying to shut down free speech when it comes to debate. So it's going to be interesting to see how this investigation committee comes together on the 6th of August. So, yeah.
Yep. And the Freedom Caucus has Representative Adam Niemerg sitting on that committee. So
right.
Leader Niemerg, please.
Leader
Niemerg. Big office Niemerg.
Well, gentlemen, I don't have anything else unless you do. Colin, if you want to close this out with a slide there with all our contact info. Yeah,
folks, this is where you can find us, our YouTube, Facebook, our Twitter/X channel, our Substack, all that good stuff. Again, we're just trying to keep the pressure on the bad guys and elect the good guys. So please share and subscribe and follow our content.
Yeah, it's important, everybody out there. Again, we appreciate you tuning in this evening, and just share this around and like and subscribe and follow. This is really important. Our social medias have been lively yet this summer. That I don't think there's any chance that the activity on those social medias and our Substack is really going to die down this summer, because the material just flows like honey. So it's kind of interesting what's happening. So with that, that's all I have. Wish everybody a great evening and a great summer, and we'll talk to you all real soon.
All right. Stay